Welcome back, everybody. And tonight, or I should say this morning, I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I have done in the past. I've had my channel for a while now. It's been about 3 years, and I feel like people haven't really been able to connect with me because I'm very touch and go, and I haven't really explained who I am as a gamer and as a YouTuber. So this is kind of what that video is about. Um, why I decided to make my channel in the first place was I love gaming. I have loved gaming since I was able to pick up a controller. I remember the first Mario Brothers side scroller before Yoshi was even a thing, and blow out the cartridges and shove it in the front of the machine and cross yourself and do 50 Hail Marys to see if Bible Adventures would even play. And that was my generation of gaming when I first started. Um, I've seen technology grow up literally with me as a child, to see it go from, something that sits in your living room on the floor that only gets played once in a while, to it going onto a computer, and then going from a computer to, back to console playing online, the Xbox, PlayStation, then back to PC, and then everything just blew up and is being recorded, and everybody is able to communicate with each other now. And it's just been an amazing thing to witness. And back then, I didn't really realize that you could take a video game and you could share your experience with the entire world. For some reason back then, I just kind of assumed that the people that you saw on YouTube were people that were getting paid to do it. And yes, YouTube was paying them to do it at that time, but I didn't know anything about subscribers or subscribing to a channel. I didn't know that it was something that I could do until many years later. And my sister was talking to me, and we were watching a specific YouTuber, and she asked me, how come you never try to do something like that? And I was just real with her. I was like, don't know how to do that. I don't even know where I would start doing something like that. And then I started researching different ways to stream online. And then I looked into ways to record and how to do it. And my computer was really crappy at that time, so it could barely handle anything. Um, but that's really the background that I came from. And when I first started making videos and editing them and uploading regularly, I was still just in the process of learning my way around all the different programs and such. And I was just getting comfortable with all of my programs. And then I had an accident with my boyfriend and got a serious concussion, and it dropped me off the map. I was starting to get subscribers, people were starting to watch my videos, and then everything just came crashing down on me in one night. It was so bad that I had to go back to the hospital several times because I'd forgotten how to talk. I couldn't talk. I could just stutter a few syllables, and that's honestly why I talk the way that I do now, where I might speak for a while and I'll get a good sentence going, and then all of a sudden I'll just pause for a moment. And it's like my brain is having to regroup what I'm saying, and it's it's kind of a frustrating process because people might look at me like I'm kind of retarded in a way, but in a way I am. I had to completely relearn how to talk. I had amnesia the same year, and that was really fun. My boyfriend had to work me through that. His name is CJ. He was amazing through that entire process. He kept me from running away from the house and getting abducted by some stranger. And that freaked out my parents pretty bad. But I'd completely forgotten about the whole YouTube channel thing. I didn't even know at that time that I was even making videos at that point. And then CJ brought it up one day and he showed me some of my videos. And he goes, "This is what you were working on before all of this happened." And, you weren't having to relearn how to talk and relearn who you were. And a lot of things happened in that time period. We had to go through a move to a completely new house because our lease was up in the apartment that we were staying at, and everything that I pretty much knew was at that first house. And the doctors had told us whatever is normal to you right now and whatever you know right now and where you are is kind of where you need to stay until things kind of normalize a little bit. But I didn't have that luxury because we had already planned on leaving. So I had to relearn where we were living, and I couldn't leave the house unless CJ was there because I would get lost and I would forget how to use my phone, and I couldn't remember our address. And more than one time, he had to call the police to go and look for me and bring me back home, and it was all very silly and sometimes a little bit humiliating because I'm pretty sure that our neighbors thought that I was the biggest felon on the face of the earth because the cops were constantly going and bringing me home. So the police here got to know me pretty good, to the point where I had to go to the doctor's office by myself one time and my car ended up breaking down, and an officer actually came over and picked me up and was asking me all of these questions about, are you supposed to be driving? Where's your boyfriend? Where are your parents at? Do you know your address? And like all of this stuff. And I was really confused because I was thinking, how do you know about my injury and that I have a boyfriend? And, why are you concerned about me driving? And then on the way home, he actually admitted that he was one of the police that showed up to our first apartment when I couldn't remember who I was or where I was. And they were making sure that it was not CJ being abusive towards me, which he would never, ever, ever do anything like that. But I thought that that was really funny because he was so sweet and nice and honest with me, and he just kind of laughed it off because he thought, I'm never gonna run into this girl again, and then lo and behold, here I am. But after we got into the second place, it was just super hard because I have a 7-year-old boy. He's 7 now. He was 6 when we lived in the other place, obviously, and I missed him so much. That was such a hard time because he wanted to be with me so bad, and my entire life literally changed. I went from being able to work to not being able to work at all because I couldn't drive my car. I couldn't remember where I was going, point A and to point B, somewhere in between. All the information would just get lost in my mind, and I would forget where I was supposed to go, you know. So that was really hard. And the job that I had um, before I got the concussion required me to be able to drive at night. And I still wonder why it happened, but after the concussion, my ability to drive at night went bye bye. Headlights, cop lights, billboard signs, really anything that's super bright in the dark just kills me. It's like it scrambles my brain up and I get disoriented, and it's just really bad because one of my favorite pastime things to do was to jump in my car, get out on a dirt road somewhere and just drive around and enjoy nature and see all the stars and just, enjoy being alone, getting that alone time that people really need. And now I can't do that, so I lost something that I've really, really, really enjoyed. And then on top of that, I lost the ability to do a lot of jobs because more people hire for night shift than they do for day shift. Why? I don't know. It's something that I've wondered about for many years, and I haven't quite put my finger on what it is, but there are just so many jobs out there that just expect you to be able to do that. And when you tell them, I can't drive at night, you know, I had a head injury and it doesn't allow me to drive at night. They just kind of look at me like, well, bye, Felicia. And it's just made it hard. Um, Another thing that's really hard for me is retaining new information. And that's probably one of the most frustrating things is I could sit down and read something a million times and think that, oh, I'm going to remember that. I'm never going to be able to forget that now. And then the very next day, it's gone. I might as well not even have read it, you know? And when it comes to learning a new job and needing to be able to retain information and learn quickly and do all of those things that a job requires of you, that can be frustrating to an employer. And I actually quit a few jobs after that because I just couldn't do it right. I knew that I was messing up and there wasn't anything that I could do about it, you know, and I had told them what happens. They were aware of it, and I honestly didn't realize at that point that it was affecting me that badly. I thought that I was fine. CJ needed help. We needed the extra income. I went back to work, and of course, I screwed everything up. It is what it is. So that all went down, and I finally found a job that I really liked outside of the YouTube thing. Was still trying to get that all up and going, but obviously 40 subscribers isn't enough to make any money off of. I thought, well, I'll just do it on the side as kind of like my hobby. There were more issues going on with me than what we thought. It wasn't just the concussion. I had some other uh, deep, dark health issues that hadn't quite risen their head fully. And that all pretty much happened after we went to a Buffalo Wild Wings. CJ dared me to try some of the ghost pepper sauce because I like hot things. Anything that's hot, I'm going to like. And so, of course, I wasn't going to puss out, you know. So I tried it. And then for about the next week or so, my gut killed me. Like I couldn't function. My gut killed me so bad. I thought that maybe I had a bleeding ulcer or something. It was so bad. So in and out of the hospital like a million freaking times, and they always told me there's nothing wrong with you. You are perfectly fine. You are perfectly healthy. It was probably just gas, all of the typical things that doctors like to tell you. Um, so we just kind of blew it off as well. It was a fluke. Found another job as a bus driver. Really enjoyed that job. And I noticed that I was starting to feel bad more often again. And it always seemed to happen around the same time every year. Now, I hadn't really seen a pattern in me feeling bad until CJ pointed it out. And so we just kind of prayed and crossed our fingers that it was again another fluke. I could just take some medicine, it would all be fine. It got to the point where we thought that either one, I was dying, or two, I was pregnant and we just didn't know it because I was literally puking my brains out every single morning and I couldn't stop unless I took this nausea medicine that knocked my ass out. Not a way to live. And so I told my work that the last hospital thought that it was my gallbladder. Your gallbladder's bad. We're just going to do a million different tests on it and see if that's it. Ended up not being it. So I went on to a different doctor because that hospital didn't want to test me anymore for anything. And they finally found out that I have Crohn's disease. Well, yay, there. Well, how do you treat it? You know, because when I was younger, my parents went to church with a family, and her husband had Crohn's disease, and it was terrible. And as we grew up, it just seemed like he was more and more and more out of touch with anybody that he was friends with. We never saw him. He never went to any events or anything like that. And then finally, we just stopped seeing him altogether. And here I'm thinking, oh my God, that's going to be me. I'm not going to have a life anymore. And I'm going to be, walking around with a colonoscopy bag, in the next like 3 years. And just really went into this deep seated state of depression. And CJ was super worried about me, as he should have been. And that was a big emotional roller coaster right there. And this doctor was absolutely amazing to me and told me, anything that makes you happy, that really gets you pumped up and wanting to do stuff, to try to focus on those things instead of all of these problems and the medicine and, just really obsessing over the way that I feel, and that will help me. And so I started talking to CJ about different hobbies that I used to do but didn't do anymore. Like I used to draw, don't do that. I used to paint, can't do that anymore. Don't have room for it. Used to go for really long walks and drives at night, can't do that. And so I was like, I have nothing. I was like, I literally have nothing. And he was like, you have your channel. You have games that you can play on your computer, and I can help you get new games if they're not too expensive. And you can start making videos again. You loved making videos. So I thought, hey, I'll take another whack at it. And this time, I'm not going to do it just to get subscribers. That's not what I'm going to be pushing. I'm going to do it because it's something that I have fun with. I'm creating something that hopefully somebody else will watch and will find entertaining and will bring joy to their life. I kind of lost track of that a little while ago because I really got down in the dumps because, yeah, I can't stay out of work forever. I'm taking my medicine and we're hoping that things get good enough that, I can process myself back into the land of the living as much as I had hoped that things would have taken off by now. That wish didn't come true. So I am now once again waiting to get another job. But until then, I'm going to try to keep doing this. If not for the subscribers, just because it's something that makes me happy. Um, it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and my humor doesn't always click with people, but I do have a goofy side that can come out. I'm trying to get that to come out more often in my videos instead of, thinking that, oh, somebody's gonna think that I'm just being stupid, blah blah blah. Hey, everybody's got a big kid living inside of them, right? This is me. I am Bex. And if you enjoyed this video and you learned something new about me as a person, and you want to see some of those gaming videos that I made, I have over 100 of them. And I got cat videos, and there will probably be more cat videos because, who doesn't love cat videos, derp? He hates being recorded. He's just like staring at me like, no more videos. Why? But if you want to subscribe, smash that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button also. If you want to share this video, to get my name out there, cool. I appreciate all the help that I get from anybody because this is my dream along with like every other American on the face of the earth. Stay well, everybody, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.